Hello Star Wars fans, this is the Star Wars Questionnaire channel and I am your host Adam, the Star Wars Questionnaire. There are very few Sith who have had a greater impact on galactic history than Darth Vader. In a single day, he had devastated the Jedi Order in its seat of power in the Coruscant Temple, and a day later had brought the Clone Wars to a violent end. Even after his wounds received on Mustafar, he outmatched every Jedi he faced and was a powerhouse of the dark side. Yet his ability to connect to the Force and his potential and power was severely limited by his wounds. Between crippling depression at times for the loss of all his limbs and damaged remaining body, and the death of his wife and unborn child, he was unable to harness such powers as Force lightning, although in Legends he had something very similar to it but not quite lightning. He had lost up to 40% of his Force potential, which, if he had over 20,000 midichlorians, would have been at least 8,000 midichlorians. Why wasn't limbs cloned for Darth Vader? Wouldn't it have improved his connection to the Force to have new limbs? What about replacing his damaged lungs? It would have eliminated the need for his life support system, so why wasn't limbs and organs cloned to replace his lost limbs and damaged organs? Actually, no. There seemed to be no procedure for just cloning limbs and grafting them onto the patient. The standard procedure was just cybernetic limbs, which leads to the conclusion there was no ability to clone just a limb and replace it. Even clones with damaged eyes and limbs were given robotic replacements or just left the damaged parts. Also, there is no indication that midichlorians could be cloned. Even if new limbs were cloned, they would not be providing new midichlorians. I'll even push beyond my theory that midichlorians might not be clonable and say that it is very likely that they don't replicate either. So Vader would not have gotten new midichlorians if they could graft on the new limbs. But what was left would have had to cover the full body. So what about the damaged lungs and organs? The removal of organs and replacement of them actually would have weakened his connection further. There would be no way to drain the organs of all their blood and put it back in the body. Since the midichlorians were based in the blood, he would have lost even more. Needless to say, they would not have improved his Force potential either way. In fact, it might have weakened it. Vader was almost on par with his Dark Master, but that was only because of his wounds. Despite his reliance on his life support system, it was a fair trade-off to keep what he had left. However, let us say that there was actually the ability to give him new limbs and new lungs, and that he would be able to keep all his remaining midichlorians. Although there's no evidence it was out there, there is nothing to say that they couldn't have done it. Palpatine wouldn't allow it. Palpatine, like his counterpart in the Jedi, believed that the mind held far more power than the body when it came to overcoming the weaknesses of the flesh. Vader was a chosen one. He believed it even decades later. The need for flesh was irrelevant to those of great power in the Force. In fact, that was the reason Palpatine made his apprentice's suit so clumsy. To keep him in a constant state of pain to allow Vader to gain more power in the dark side through that pain. So there you have it. In summary, it was both impractical to replace limbs as it appears the procedure wasn't available, and even if it was, it wouldn't have actually made him more powerful. Also, Palpatine wanted him to get beyond his oppression, embrace the suit, and allow his damaged body to give him an edge to the dark side. That's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, leave your likes, comments, and suggestions for the next video. Have a wonderful day, and may the Force be with you.